As the global economy faces the looming threat of recession, China's recovery is unfolding in a lopsided manner, causing apprehension among Western policymakers. While China has been a major driver of global economic growth since the 2008 financial crisis, recent economic indicators present a mixed picture. Declining imports, slower export growth, subdued consumer prices, and deflation in the industrial sector pose challenges to China's recovery. Factors such as debt burdens, geopolitical tensions, structural reforms, and a shift towards quality growth contribute to the complexity of China's economic landscape. China's economic challenges are reflected in various indicators. In April, imports contracted significantly by 8%, while export growth slowed to 9% compared to the previous month's 15%. Furthermore, consumer prices rose at the slowest pace in over 2 years, and deflation in the factory gate prices deepened. These indicators suggest that China's economy is not on track to return to the robust double-digit growth witnessed in the 2010s. Despite this, Steve Sang, the director of the China Institute at the School of Oriental and African Studies, emphasizes that China's economy is not on the verge of collapse, but is also not experiencing a roaring recovery. One of the key challenges facing China's recovery is the significant debt burden resulting from past stimulus measures. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) warned that Chinese local government debt alone has reached a record 66 trillion yuan, equivalent to half of the country's GDP. This debt overhang poses risks to sustainable growth and calls for careful management and prudent policies. China's geopolitical issues, such as its claim on Taiwan and its relationship with Russia amid the Ukraine conflict, strain its relations with the West and jeopardize global economic collaboration. Rising tensions or the outbreak of war related to Taiwan could trigger a seismic shift, leading multinational companies to exit China, closing off export markets, and imposing sanctions. Ongoing trade tensions between Beijing and Washington, which originated during the Trump era and have continued into President Biden's administration, contribute to the decoupling and de-risking of economic links with China. Bilateral tariffs, the United States' sanctions on Chinese entities, and restricted access to critical technologies impact the economic ties between the two countries. Concerns over China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) also add complexity to the global economic landscape. The BRI, an extensive investment program in infrastructure development, has raised worries about developing countries falling into debt traps while potentially weakening their ties with Western nations. Western policymakers increasingly view the BRI as a challenge to their interests and express concerns about the possible fragmentation of the global economy into rival blocs led by China and the United States. China's economic recovery is intertwined with its strategic shift from low-end manufacturing to high-tech industries, such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and semiconductors. This transition prioritizes quality growth and innovation, aiming to move up the value chain and foster domestic consumption. However, such structural reforms require time and can result in a slowdown in overall growth. Professor Pushin Dutt from INSEAD Business School explains that as China moves away from heavy industries dominated by state-owned enterprises, a natural corollary is a deceleration in growth. Nevertheless, the International Monetary Fund predicts that China will remain the largest contributor to global economic growth in the next 5 years, accounting for 23% of total world growth compared to 11% for the United States. While slowing Western demand may continue to impact Chinese exports negatively, the domestic economy presents opportunities. Chinese consumers, who accumulated significant savings during the pandemic, are expected to contribute to a revival in the services sector in the short term. China's economic recovery stands at a critical juncture, and its trajectory holds implications for both domestic and global stakeholders. The challenges of debt burdens, geopolitical tensions, and strategic shifts highlight the complexities surrounding China's revival. While Western policymakers hope for a robust rebound from China to offset the expected global slowdown, they must acknowledge the new political geopolitical and economic realities. Balancing domestic priorities with global economic collaboration is vital for China's sustainable and inclusive recovery in the post-pandemic era. China's economic challenges should not overshadow its continued role as a significant driver of global economic growth. The accumulation of excess savings by Chinese consumers and the potential for increased domestic consumption provide optimism for short-term recovery. However, addressing debt risks, managing geopolitical tensions, and fostering cooperation in an evolving global economic landscape are critical for China's sustained growth and its integration into the global economy. Effective policy adjustments, prudent debt management, and open dialogue between China and the Western world will be essential for fostering stability, growth, and economic collaboration in the years to come. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Subscribe to the channel and write your opinion in the comments.